Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of For the Love of Health, where I get the chance to share and bring on awesome guests who can also share knowledge that'll help us propel our service-based businesses forward with vision, with heart, with integrity. I'm here today with Sandra Nomoto. And Sandra Nomoto, I'm pulling up your bio because this is absolutely fantastic. So she is the vegan marketing assistant, but she also is like the content doctor. So she is able to help people really fine tune and fix their content with their writing. And she also helps inspire writers. It was just fantastic. There are many ways into her business, but a little bit of how she started. She was writing at the age of 3, so close to 4 decades. She's published poetry in literary journals. She graduated with a degree in English literature and film studies and started a career in public relations. She ran an award-winning virtual public relations agency, Conscious PR, in Vancouver. And today she still has a course where people can learn all about PR for like $97 on her website. It's fantastic. She commits to working only with businesses that have had a positive social or environmental impact. So that's today's episode, is all about impact and customer service. She's a certified B Corp company. Woohoo! Love it.
My previous business was, I should clarify, not this one.
Oh, gotcha. Her previous company was certified twice as a B Corp. Fantastic. A member of a 1% for the planet. So she's aligning herself with some seriously value-driven companies and initiatives. She's self-published 2 books. Her vegan marketing book is fantastic. Vegan marketing success. And you can actually download the first chapter for free through her website, which is amazingly generous. And she's, of course, a millennial who is also aligning herself with who she works with, who she has partners with, her affiliates. She's one of the few vegan women of color in the world who writes content and helps authors publish books. So if you're looking to network with other vegans, she can help you pretty much completely. She's got tons of wonderful networking skills and lots of networks already built up. Welcome to the show, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Laura. What a wonderful introduction. And to clarify, the name of my book, my second book, is Vegan Marketing Success Stories. It's written in script. It's a little bit different than the first. So you're not the first person to miss that, but yeah, that's the title of the book. So thank you.
So I'm like seriously about to purchase the book. So like in my Amazon cart. So I will. I can't wait. I'm gonna take a photo later on, holding the book up and being like, "Go get this book." So we're based in Richmond, Virginia, as we've mentioned before, Sandra. We have lots of people who are vegan and who are really eco-conscious here in Richmond. Really athletic, very environmentally friendly. We have a beautiful river that flows through our town, right? We care about this river because it literally flows at our feet. So I just can't wait to tap you into some of those resources here. But let's go back to you, right? You are a multi-layered business at this point. Like I mentioned in the intro, you've got ways in for people who want to do PR, networking, but that's obviously not how you started. So can you tell us, like, where, cause there's so many ways to get into engaging with you and your business. So where did you kind of start?
Yes. So I closed my first business, the PR agency, in 2018. That was right around the time I went vegan. And for a good year and a half, I was sort of figuring out my next career path. I didn't think I was going to stay in marketing. But I sat down to meditate at the end of 2019, and the big intuitive booming voice came to me and was like, "You're vegan now and you will write forever. So put those 2 things together." And so right at the start of 2020, I started, this new entity as the content doctor, primarily as a content writer. So I just, tapped into my previous network and said, "Hey, who do you know who runs a cruelty-free business that needs some content help, some writing help?" And that's how I was very fortunate to land my first few clients. So that's how the business started. And then, thank you, pandemic, I had more time on my hands. So I started taking courses in book editing and formatting, because I thought to myself, I've always been interested in book publishing, and I've published 1 book myself. And a book is really the longest piece of content you could possibly work on. So so I launched later that year service editing and formatting services for authors. I've since expanded those services to include other things. And then after publishing my second book in November 2022, I've started to do marketing consulting now, because naturally, folks reading the book, might be like, I don't know where to start. I've got a lot of tips here, but I need help. And so I've started to do some consulting now. And then interestingly, you pointed out my PR background. Just this week, I've updated my service page on the business side, and I'm now offering media list creation services. So for folks who know that they need to get into the media and do podcast interviews like we're doing here, but they just don't have that list to start with, that's something that I would love to help folks with, because all that requires is just some time to sit down, research what media outlets are in your area, or cater to the niche that your business is in. And then from there, you've got a list of media and podcasts to pitch. And for those who are running vegan businesses or are vegan yourself, I've actually compiled a list of over 250 media and podcasts because from my book launch and other sources that I found online. And so for all of the vegan businesses, that's available to you as well. The only catch is you have to either hire me for media list creation services or purchase my PR course, which is online. So I will give you that list for free for all the vegans. If you purchase one of those two services.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you've made it all make sense with it started with these like one-to-one services that you just built out of your existing network from your existing business. Yeah. But then it was able to really kind of create these multiple chambers of your business that really clearly connected to the core vision, because you niched down and worked strategically with your values that you were aligning your company with. Is that correct?
100% correct. And the same was with my previous business. I'm not new to aligning my personal values with business, but the difference with the business I run now is, I'm very much focused on the vegan world. And so on the business side, vegan businesses, those are my people. On the author side, you don't have to be vegan. Of course, it's great if you are, because I'm still building my portfolio there. But that's the idea. Is veganism, writing, marketing, intersecting all those things that I love.
And you've become someone who's known for that, and has an existing network, and you're experienced. But how would you talk to someone who might be hesitant to do that because they were afraid of either stepping into that power of being a really turn-to resource for that specific thing, or they felt like they couldn't actually be the one who would be the ultimate resource people turn to?
Well, first of all, if you do realize that there's a gap in let's say, for example, with me, like I did some research. I did see that there were some vegan copywriters out there, but nobody was really like standing out there. And so I knew that there's an opportunity, when you see a gap in the market that you can fill with your personality and with your values, that's an opportunity for you to stand out. And so I would say that is your superpower is everything you are. And it may seem freakish to the normal person, but if you're running a business and you think, hey, this weirdness, could this actually work? The answer is yes, because like people want to do business with people, right? And so when you're picking from a whole list of people who do quote unquote boring things, let's say financial advising, real estate, there's tons of people doing this, but when that one stands out, so one example, my colleague where I live here in Vancouver is in my book as well. He's the vegan financial advisor. So if you're a vegan, you're probably going to want to hire him because he's vegan and he resonates with your values. And so that's what I mean by niching down. It can be your superpower because you'll automatically connect with folks who share your values.
And another concern I know people have brought up with me directly when they're hesitant about niching down is concern that they won't be able to find customers, that that it would be difficult to actually become visible in front of the customers they're trying to attract, or they'd run out of customers. Have you ever had that experience with your business?
Oh, 100%. I'm in year 4, so I'm still very young, and absolutely there have been ups and downs. Some people do come to me because they're vegan and we have that instant connection. Others are not vegan. Their companies are, but they just know that, they like my writing style. And so you do have to think about the other potential, you got your primary audience, and then you have a secondary audience, right? Like, it's very rare that we're so successful in our primary audience we don't need to do any other marketing. And so yeah, you do always have to think about sort of that secondary customer or client who may need your product or service as well. And so I would say, when you're marketing yourself, it's a good thing to niche down and stand out, but also allow for that flexibility that, yes, I can cater to other people who, may not necessarily jam with my brand.
Yeah, but you kept it pretty simple too. I mean, when you are niching, your products kind of align with everything and it just makes sense. You're not selling a bunch of different types of things. It's all within the frame of your business, correct?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, writing, marketing, books, those are all very related things. And so nobody's going to come to me for, I don't know, website design, right? But although I have a network where I could recommend, somebody like that to you.
So what other impacts has this niching down done for your business? Can you give us an example of where the impact lies?
Well, I would say the book is the best example of that, because I didn't intend to write this. The idea came to me because I did an intuitive reading in the spring of 2021 around the time of my birthday. I usually do this and just, let the spirit guides tell me what they have to say this year. And the reader actually said, they said, you're going to write a book. And so I went, what? Okay, my second book. And just for a number of months, I thought about what I could possibly write about. And then I thought of the idea of, I've always been interested in marketing, and now I'm in this vegan industry and I want to support it. I Googled, and there was not a book about this topic. And not only that, there's only one vegan business book in the world prior to this. Vegan Ventures, published in 2016. And so I thought, well, here's a great opportunity to stand out as someone who is vegan and works in marketing. That's why I decided to publish the book, because I saw that opportunity there to be one of just the few vegan business books. And so that took a good year of my life. But this post launch period of just talking about it both, to vegan media and podcasts, and then other podcasts like yours, I think has really helped me make that stamp in the vegan industry. Certainly. I feel like, my tentacles are getting out there globally a little bit more. And I had the opportunity to appear on a local TV segment last month because of Veganuary, which is the vegan challenge that happens in January. So just all of these opportunities I say yes to, and hopefully that'll bring me more business. That's the idea.
Yeah, no, I can hear the cycle. I mean, it went from writing to now you have something that you can actually talk about. It makes it just, it makes going and running through that course really super simple, because it's like kind of a working monologue, dialogue you have going on at all times. But not to mention, though, you have really excellent networking skills. So you say in your book that, you consider customer service marketing's neglected cousin. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I wasn't originally going to write that section. It just, I was really inspired because Vegan Business Tribe, which is a membership-based business network for vegans who run businesses, that's the secret key to their marketing success. So they really track where their potential members are coming from, and based on that data that they have, that's how they know to keep doing certain tactics. So the newsletter is working, LinkedIn is working, and the founders are just really good at making that a huge part of their marketing strategy. And even in the journey of researching, okay, so I have to find marketing directors, if not, CEOs or founders, to contribute to this book. A lot of the time I couldn't find, the contact information of that person online. So I would just use the generic hello email or info email, that you see on the contact page of the company's website. And sometimes that email ended up getting forwarded to the right person I was looking for. But that was only, I would say, maybe 20% of the time max that happened. Other times I just never got a response back, and that's okay. And even worse though, my email ended up on their newsletter list, and that was not my intention. I never signed up for their newsletters. And so it kind of made me think, like, what are these customer service people doing on the other end of that hello or at info email? Like here's an opportunity to get your company in a book at no cost, and that's a lost opportunity for 8 out of 10 of those companies that never responded to me or simply just added me to their newsletter list and didn't take action. So it really tells me that companies have a way to go if that's the customer service they're providing to potential customers or clients. So that's only one method of customer service, the email, automated email or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think it's such an important part of how you get customers and clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say here, the more you know about your customer or client, the more you can help them, and it benefits your business if it's the solution to their problem.
100%.
Yeah, so being open to conversations, how would you recommend people, business owners, going about doing just that? What are some of your go-tos?
Just, yeah, like on the front lines of well, yeah, again, it depends on the nature of your business. Yeah, if you're an e-commerce business, yeah, maybe that's really the way to go. Customer service type of email. But I would recommend, really try and have a solid person on the other end of that email. I don't know if some of these were automated or, just sent out sort of or auto forwarded some of these incoming messages, but I think that really stands for something, like having an actual person in that role. Same thing for social media DMs. That's another way that people, are asking questions or trying to find out about why they should buy from you. Again, having a warm body on the other end of that. Yeah, I don't know how else folks are communicating with the customers, but those are the top two things that I think about, because when I'm a consumer and I try and reach out to companies, those are probably the first two methods that I use.
Nice. And I mean, you talk about customer journey as well, and mapping out the customer journey, right? Like that's something that can be is that something that can be very niched again and very congruent with your values and that alignment?
Yeah, good question. I mean, some folks, like, for example, B2B, right? Like they want to qualify a client before they say yes to like an in-person meeting. And that can be important, like having some sort of a contact form on your site, just to make sure they tick off like, yes, they can afford you, or, they're the right, they're ready for you, and that type of thing. I see that as well. So that can be a great way to qualify folks, so that, again, yeah, you aren't wasting your time hopping on discovery calls with folks who are just not a good fit. So yeah, that could be a great way of filtering.
Well, maybe we could shift the conversation in our last few minutes together just towards like veganism and what's happening with veganism. What kinds of things and trends should people be paying attention to in 2023?
Wow, what a big question. Just I think more options becoming available. Like you might have seen some really bad headlines about the big guys, Beyond Meat and Impossible, not doing too well in the stocks. That doesn't really mean anything. All that means is they're not doing as well as they used to. However, as you said, Virginia, where you are, is a booming town for vegans. Vancouver is also a very vegan friendly city, and all the time smaller companies are popping up and offering plant-based alternatives to animal products. And so really look at your local options. I would say look there first. Yeah, if you're looking to transition and go more plant-based. Yeah, yeah, even the larger supermarkets have options. I think food is the easiest place to reach out to, because we do that 3 times a day. But certainly exciting things are happening in fashion, in the automotive industry. More car companies are switching to plant-based leathers instead of animal versions. Just there's innovations happening in almost every sector. So whichever one your business may belong to, yeah, do some research, sign up for some I would recommend on the business side, Vegconomist is great, Green Queen, which is more Asia focused, and also Vegan Women's Summit. Those are all really great newsletters that I use to get an idea of what's happening in the industry. So yeah, hopefully that's a good place for you to start.
Yeah, those are some great places to start. What would you say are like some trending things happening if you're like a demographic between like 25 and 35, and has TikTok really influenced the veganism thing?
Oh, I would say so. I'm not great on TikTok. I just started posting. So that's what you'll see if you come across my profile. And I just don't spend too much of my time there. But I do know, because it skews slightly younger, that a lot of these younger vegan influencers have used it, and they've gotten ahead and used it to build their own following. So I certainly know that there are a lot of vegan influencers on TikTok. Tabitha Brown is one of my all-time favorites. She's not, I would say, a younger person, but she just puts out such positive content. And she's also just doing really well. She just released a line of food products that are under $8 at Target. So super, just super exciting. And she's a Black woman. It's always, great to see women owned and people of color owned companies doing really well. And so,
Yeah, Women's History Month next week, right? First week of March. Woohoo! Good times. Yeah, there's so many places to go with that, but it's great to hear like an overview and hear some great names and like some concepts and things to tap into for sure. So where else do you want to go? Like how ambitious are you, and what would be some of the icing on the cake with your business and your vision?
Great question. So one of my career goals is to be known as a ghostwriter for vegan authors. And so I'm ghostwriting a friend's memoir right now, and I'm really enjoying that process. He isn't vegan, but it's a good in to just start getting that experience. And hopefully once I have my first, that first book out, I know, I'm going to start obviously targeting more of the vegans. When I have more writing clients, I'm actually really looking forward to trying out an app called Veg3, which is the vegan version of an AI app. So you may have heard of ChatGPT, apps like this that are creating content for you. So I'm looking forward to trying out that app and seeing how well it can create first drafts of content, because I love editing. That's why I went into book editing. And so if it can create a pretty good first draft for me, then all I have to do is go in and edit it. So so if you're doing your own content, but you don't really like that kind of stuff, look into the AI apps, because I know that's going to be big in the marketing world in the next year. And Veg3 specifically is the one that's catered to folks who may be putting out more vegan content.
And why is that? It's just able to, how is that possible?
I probably can't explain it all that well, but what it does is it pulls information from the internet, similar to what Google does. So you can type in, write me a vegan article about what plant-based alternatives there are in 2023. And then it'll pull what it can from the internet, spit out an article, hopefully. And then you still have to go in and, make sure that it sounds right, because as we know, not everything on the internet is true. And so you also have to have that extra layer of accuracy. It could save folks a lot of time, especially if you're not a good writer but you need to put content out there for your business. It might be a big game changer for a lot of
have you seen like any like hybrid like politics and vegan type of like thinkers right now that people can check out? Because I know that politics are kind of a big deal right now with all the CBD laws and, the things that are happening down with, psychedelics and, with cannabis in different states.
I do not know too many politicians who are vegan. I know Eric Adams in New York is, and he just recently endorsed the Vegan Women's Summit because it's happening there in May. So there you go. There's an endorsement from a vegan mayor. Cory Booker, presidential candidate. I know he is vegan as well. I actually have a list of some other politicians that I cannot name on my website. So just go to my name, Sandra Nomoto, and on my LUXlife page, I've listed like celebrities and all these other folks there. But yeah, I know that there aren't too many, there aren't too many vegans in the world as it is. And so politicians is even more of a niche. However, there's an organization called the Plant-Based Treaty where it's inviting municipalities, any level of government to sign this treaty and recognize that we need to be moving more toward plant-based systems, because the way that we live now with animal agriculture just is not sustainable. And so, yeah, if you want to send that on to your local or state politicians, plant-based treaty, and you can sign it yourself as an individual as well. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, Sandra, thank you so much. I mean, amazing resources. I love how you can just like drop a name and a resource it's like just sitting there in your brain, like easy to recollect. Your power of recollection is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your slice of wisdom with us today.
It's my absolute pleasure to have this conversation. Thanks so much, Laura.